400 dogs. One handler's voice. And somewhere in that perfect line, Titan. They said he was too small to lead. Titan never needed to be the biggest Ford, just the last one standing. Commander Reyes had trained hundreds of dogs. Something about this one made him stop.
This was Titan's unit. 12 dogs. One mission. Zero room for error.
The mountains don't care about training scores. Up here, everything gets tested again. 12 dogs went in. Only the ones who could push through the cold would make it to the next phase. He wasn't the loudest in the unit, but when someone needed him, Titan was already there. This was the real test, not obedience toes, speed, trust, and nerve all at once.
One word. 400 dogs move as one. This is what years of discipline actually look like.
In a sea of identical dogs, Reyes always knew exactly where to look. Discipline isn't about looking perfect. It's 400 different dogs choosing, together, to move as one. Formation was never the final test. What waited ahead would separate the disciplined from the truly relentless. This is where the real story starts. Not the formation. Him, alone, against the clock. For half a second, he was weightless. Everything he'd trained for came down to this one landing.
No hesitation. No wasted motion. Just forward, Conti, always forward.
Every tire was a decision made in a fraction of a second. Titan never slowed down to think. Reyes didn't smile easily. But right now, he was watching something rare.
He finished the gauntlet. But the next test wasn't about speed anymore. It was about not looking down.
For the first time all day, Titan hesitated. Heights had never been his strength.
Reyes never raised his voice to push him. He just showed Titan he believed he could do it. One plank at a time. That's how you cross something that scares you, not by ignoring the fear, but by moving through it anyway.
The wind hit without warning. For 1 second, everyone below stopped breathing. He made it across, not because he wasn't afraid to, because he crossed anyway. Next, the water was waiting.
Land was one thing, but an elite K9 has to be ready for anything Cuse, including water no one trained them to love. No hesitation this time. He'd already learned that fear only matters if you let it stop you.
Water doesn't forgive panic. Titan swam like he'd done it 1,000 times before. This is the job no headline ever mentions. Just a dog, refusing to let go until the job is done. The sun was almost gone. But for Titan's unit, the hardest night of all was just beginning. Alone in the dark, with no one telling him what to do next, bees. This was everything he'd trained for. And alone in the dark, with no one telling him what to do next, duty. This was everything he'd trained for. There it was. Not a bark, not a bite, threed, just a perfectly still signal that meant everything. For the first time all day, Commander Reyes let himself smile. Titan had earned every second of it.
They said he was too small to lead. Titan proved that discipline was never about size, it was about heart. Follow for the next chapter of his story.